buying me a drink doesn't mean anything is going to happen.
Give you my number, go home with you.
Exactly.
Fry these chips.
But number two, there could also be a scenario where I feel like men also just, there's an entitlement to your energy and to your aura.
A few moments later.
I also think the issue here is that
Yeah.
They
just don't know how to
I don't
move.
know what's happening. Are they shy? Are they lazy? Do they just want to throw money at us? I don't know what it is, but men just don't share anymore. And it comes out a lot in the group culture and restaurants and things like that. Is how do I get this girl without doing the sharing pause?
Here's how to get a girl's number at the gym. And before you say it's not possible, it is. I met my husband at the gym. First step, you're going to make eye contact. And if she keeps looking, she's probably interested. Next, you're going to pick the right moment to approach. It's usually best to wait until she's off the gym floor and not wearing headphones. Maybe at the water fountain, ordering a smoothie, or waiting for a class. Then you're going to approach her and say this. Hey, how's your training going? This is a super casual opener that is perfect for the gym. Once you've been talking for a moment, say this. I've got to run, but hopefully I'll see you again sometime. Then wait until you see her again on another day. And if she seems excited to be chatting with you, that is your sign to say something like this. What would you think of grabbing a coffee or drink outside the gym sometime? At which point, you can get her number.
And once again, you have the signs: shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That crap is not going to work on men anymore.
Listen, your girl haven't been on a date in a minute, but if I do ended up going on a date with somebody, and the questions of, oh, how would you like your man to be, and how would you like to be treated? What is your standard? Da, 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 da. You know what I'm gonna do? I will show them my DMs. Because you know what? Muhammad from the Middle East want to get me a car. A Corvette? What? Christopher here want to get me a Chanel bag. Like, men's in my DM want to feed me daily. And they in my stories and my posts, liking, loving, supporting. Words of encouragement. Daily. Babe, these men is outdoing you. We gotta step up our games. Babes.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
We don't have masculine man anymore and feminine woman. It's kind of like shifted all a little bit. If he would be in his masculine, they would naturally want to lead. Naturally.
Yeah.
And a feminine woman in her feminine would naturally want to follow. But whatever's going on, and it's all shifting in a maybe weird mindset that now the females are kind of more in their masculine and their man in their feminine for whatever reasons.
Because we don't feel safe.
That shift, again, is a natural disconnect because you feel disconnected to what you're supposed naturally to feel and to do for them and us. And then it's a weird cycle of, no, we're not feeling good. You don't feel good in your body. I don't feel good in my body. And what are we doing here? And then it's set up for disaster, honestly. And I feel like if you look in other countries, maybe somewhere where it's a little bit more traditional, like Russia, for example, right? So I'm Russian. There's all men are very much masculine. And they want to be. If a girl would be like, oh no, let me pay for that, he would be like, what are you saying?
You know, modern women continue to have this tone in this silly behavior that really makes a man stop and think, do I really want to be a part of this type of nonsense?
A good man that knows his value but has been through stuff will create his own peace and chill in it and wait for a woman to add to it. They are not out there dating a new girl every week and spending all of their money. And it's not that they've sworn off relationships altogether, but their bar for a woman to enter into the life that they've created is really high due to all the other great stuff that they have filling their lives. They are still building, and they will not be distracted by shiny objects that are not going to stick around. They're really only interested in finding that person that's going to be their ride or die. These are the highest quality of men. And even though they are not actually that rare, they are hard to find because they probably aren't on dating apps. They aren't simping on your half-naked photos on Instagram, and they aren't approaching you when you haven't even looked him in the eyes or, I don't know, waved him over. They are probably in my comment section though. So if you find one, you're the one that needs to get his attention, and then don't let him go.
And one thing modern women are going to have to start learning and understanding is that men remember when I tell you my feelings and you try to use my feelings, my emotions against me as leverage. I remember that.
Y'all know what sucks?
about dating as a 28-year-old. Realizing they're a great person, but they're not your person. And I feel like we realize this fairly early on, but a lot of us just refuse to admit it. Because, like, it's sad. It's like you meet a fantastic human being, they check every box, they're not your person, and you can just tell. I feel like that has been, like, the epitome of my dating life for the past 2 years. I am meeting these fantastic human beings because I'm a very picky person myself about the type of person I'm going to spend time with. But they end up not being my person. There's something that's just not there checking a box. And it sucks and it's sad. And it makes it that much harder to break up with that person, but even if it's the right thing to do. But you know, it's just how it's been lately. And it sucks.
When a man feels rejected in the bedroom, he's not going to sit down and explain it to you. He's not just going to come out and tell you exactly how he feels unwanted or underappreciated. He just adapts to it. He gets quiet. He will start to pull back, and it usually happens very slowly, and you don't really notice until one day he feels like a stranger, and you're left wondering, what happened? What changed? It's not just about it's about feeling wanted and chosen by you. When he actually feels that desire by his woman, he will show up different, way more present, more into it, and probably more willing to step up in the relationship. That feeds everything else. So yeah, understanding this stuff helps. Not so you can fake it or ignore how you feel. That's not what I'm saying. But what's actually going on with him, most women never look at it that deep. And that's exactly why the spark will slowly start to die without you realizing it. So I'm trying to help you.
You know, even for the patient guys, even for the good guys, when they don't get reciprocation from you and it's always them doing things, how do you think that's going to go?
When you say I don't chase women, my first initial thought is, well, then go find your man. You likely aren't making plans. You aren't initiating conversation. Your text messages are really dry. What are you doing? Are you wanting the woman to chase you? Because if that's the case, then you probably aren't even into women. You're probably into men. I just don't get it when men say things like this. You probably don't text first in the morning. You don't say good morning. You don't say good night. You don't check in. Like, you want to be single. That's what you should be. If you're not pursuing a woman, then you want to be a woman. Like, this is the problem with guys nowadays. They're so feminine that they want the women to do their job. No.
A lot of these modern women don't really have a preference. It's really just entitlement, you know, wearing a full face of makeup. Oh, you know, that's my preference. And no, you think that's what you deserve, and you're just trying to dress it up. That's what it is.
Okay, this girl posted an amazing video where she was basically like, why have gender role responsibilities for women increased in modern times while they've literally seemed to stay the same or decreased for men? She's so freaking right. She said that her grandpa like literally built a house with his bare hands, okay, for his family, but that her boyfriend like struggled to build IKEA furniture or like mount a picture frame or something. But at the same time, women are now expected to still take care of the home, still be a great mom, be the primary labor, be the primary caregiver, birth the baby, somehow still stay hot, still stay looking good, work a full-time job while most men are just like regressing. Honestly, if you can't find a guy who can actually add tangible value into your life, I always say it's better to stay single, girls. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Please only enter a relationship that actually benefits you instead of draining your freaking soul out. And I know there are not a lot of men out there who are actually good prospects. So you have to be okay with being alone. Don't settle. If you make your happiness a priority, you will eventually attract the same. And a man who truly values your happiness is the only kind of guy you should get with.
You know, modern women, their attitude is so bad, they get into this back and forth where guys just stop Oh, don't worry about it. You got it. And then they move. Oh, what happened to why he move on? Because all of this nonsense that you got going on, that's going to be the end of it. I don't have time for it.
What I'm about to say may sound like I'm stuck up, but I promise I'm not. The reason I do not put up with any man's foolishness, why my standards are high, and why I move on quick is because I know who the hell I am. And I'm going to say this in the most humblest way possible. I am 24 years old. I make 6 figures a year. I have 2 college degrees. I'm a registered nurse with her BSN, and I own multiple businesses at only 24 years old. I pay my own bills. My body's tea. I have an amazing personality, nice skin, nice hair. On top of all this, I know how to cook. I know how to have a good time. I am the full package. Not to mention that I have no kids and no baggage. I literally know how much value I have and how much value I bring to the table. Now, why the would I put up with anybody's nonsense? And I mean this in the most humblest way possible. I am not like other women, and other women are not like me. We all are our own person. But I know the value I have, so I am never going to put up with anything that's lesser than me. Society always wants to talk about how they want the full package in somebody. I am the full package. I know I'm the full package. So I'm going to wait to get what I deserve in life. And this is why I have no patience with anybody. You know how many people would wish to have a chance with me? It's not even about that. It's about the fact that I respect and love myself so much that I'm not going to take anything less than from anybody else. And I've worked really hard to get to where I am today. So if somebody's going to try and come in my life and bring down my value or bring me stress, if you're not adding to my life, you're taking away from it. And that's something I will not put up with. So yeah, respectfully, the price is high and I'm going to stick by it.
You know, modern women go through these phases, these attitudes. And when you continue to be so inconsistent about it, men stop taking you seriously. There's not really a whole bunch that they can do with you because they don't know how you're going to feel from time to time.
Why does it make a woman valuable just because she got wifed up? Why can I not just be single for forever? Why can I not just live my best life for forever? Why can I not be like the 50-year-old auntie who's taking trips?
Yeah, it sounds good on paper for you to think that way. Women derive their true happiness from children in a family and having a strong masculine male by their side. Men, we're different. We get our happiness from kids and leaving a legacy behind, but also we get our true happiness from being on our purpose, creating. Women create children, men create things. Everything that you're seeing, touching has all been created by men. Every person in this world has all been created by women. Make sense? So a man that's not creating anything is a man without purpose. Then he will experience depression, anxiety. He wouldn't have no direction in his life because he's not on his purpose. He's not creating. You get what I'm saying? So when you're 45 years old, been living your single life all these years, well, what did you create? What was your purpose? Yeah, you got a Gucci bag. Yeah, you slept with this. You've been on that boat, you've been in that yacht, but you created nothing. You waited so long, all your eggs is gone. You can't have babies, so now you feel just like that dude that didn't create any resources, didn't create anything. So all human beings, men have a natural proclivity, it's in us, to provide and protect and to create things. Women have a natural proclivity that's in them to nurture and create human beings, to create the next generation.
You know, a lot of men will continue for a long, long time to do things, you know, just out of the goodness out of their heart because that's where they were raised. But once again, we live in a society where these modern women, they think they're owed that type of stuff. No, you're not.
And just for the record, a lot of women don't be the big bosses and the big ballers that they claim to be. Let's talk about it. I just watched a podcast of females saying that a lot of women who don't make over $50,000 a year should not be asking a man, looking him up and down, asking him about his finances and what he make a year. Should not be giving orders and demands that he needs to make above a certain amount a year. When you, my dear, don't even make over $50,000 a year. Now, this is a no judgment zone and I'm not judging people based off their salary. I'm just saying, humble yourself, queen. Humble yourself, queen. Because I fear that man who makes well over $50,000 a year might end up humbling you. Ooh. And without even being funny, I think this is a very serious topic that has to be addressed because a lot of women live life based off of what they want and not off what they provide, for the simple fact that we become so accustomed to the idea that because men are supposed to be providers and that they are expected to be providers, that they should be the only ones contributing and bringing something to the table. All of those days of I am the table so I don't have to bring nothing to put on the table are over, because a lot of women ain't even bringing the table these days. You got all these kids, you want men to accept your children, you come than just the mouth and the demands that you have for the man. Evaluate and humble yourself, queen.
Yeah, so shout out to her for keeping it real. I think she's absolutely right here when it comes to these particular individuals, right? You got some of these modern women that don't even make $50,000 a year. A lot of these modern women, let's keep it real, a lot of them are broke. They're broke, right? They look rich on social media. They look rich when it comes to the reels and the highlights with their TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. But behind the scenes, they're really going through it, right? They're broke, chronically single, and they don't have it like that. So to request men to give them lavish trips and vacations, Don Julio, hookah and crab legs, all this other stuff, yeah. You're not even doing that for yourself, right? You're not even living that lifestyle. So why would I contribute to the fantasy that you really want to live, right? And it's just crazy to think about. They actually think men are stupid. They want to try to cloud your judgment by deploying the shaming tactics, right? Shame, incel, guilt need to be right. And if you have some sort of self-respect for yourself, you're standing on business, yeah, then they try to gaslight you and to call you sassy. So, hey, shout outs to her.
But the one thing that modern women continue to try to do is they continue to try to tell a man, well, my friend's doing it. This person is doing that. That person is doing this. My ex used to do. I don't care nothing about your ex. You're not with him no more. All of this stuff is manipulation. All of this stuff is trying to move you in the direction that they want you to be in.
The working title right now is Feels Like Love, Looks Like Math. Because it is all math. So the deserving equation, we don't want to take more than we think we deserve, because then I'll have an obligation. So no, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. I tease people about this, that, birthday gifts are not a compensation for having lived another year. They're called a gift because you don't deserve them. All gifts, deserving is relevant. That's what makes it a gift. Mm-hmm. And that's why gift exchange.
Yeah.
That's what those instances of being related could be, as an upward spiral, but everyone's having to practice giving and receiving and giving and receiving, and deserving's irrelevant. And so it's the beautiful thing about men and women in all contexts. There are things that are not only are they easy for me to give, I have to give them. I have to give them. To be fulfilled, I have to give them to you.
Yeah.
So if you won't receive them from me...
Yeah, it's almost robbing you of your own needs.
I think modern women don't really understand that respect to men matters more than they would want to admit. And when I say they, I mean women. Well, it ain't a big deal. Most people don't really understand, or I should say most modern women don't really understand, that respect for a man is one of the utmost priorities. And y'all be trying to avoid giving it to him.
Do you want to know why evolved, self-aware women are not attracted to masculine men? I'll break it down for you. Masculinity is such a narrow lane of existence. You can run afoul of the borders of masculinity by wearing the wrong color salmon. You're not allowed to have the full human emotional experience. You're not allowed to have intimate relationships with anybody that's other than a romantic partner. You're not allowed to fully self-express yourself in clothing. Masculinity is an amputated way to live. So when you, as an amputated man, come to a woman who's embodying the full range of human experience, she feels her emotions, she connects intimately with a wide range of people, she's self-expressed, you have nothing to offer her. And all you're going to be doing is taking, because the only place that you can get those needs met, which are very vital human needs, the only place you can get them is from siphoning them from her. Traditional masculinity is also insecurity, because you're abandoning who you really are in order to perform this role of a person that you're not, which means you don't think the real you is good enough. And the reason that is unattractive is because it forces us in a role of emotionally coddling you throughout the entire relationship. We will have to spend enormous energy affirming your masculinity instead of actually just connecting with you. This is why so many of us are turned off, like actively turned off by really muscly men. I'm not talking about men who have like definition or cut or athletic, like that's great. But like if you have muscles so big that there's no actual use for them on this planet in modern day times, they're show muscles. They're performance muscles, and they are the embodiment of that masculinity, of those values. As to the traits that we label feminine, they're not feminine, they're just the human experience. That we define everything by its proximity in relation to masculinity. So we call things outside of the bounds of masculinity feminine. Traits like emotional intelligence and kindness and listening skills and just liking things that, you know, have ever been liked by a woman. As we're still grappling with this polarity of the gender binary for now, I will say I'm attracted to feminine men exclusively, but what I'm really attracted to is, you know, men living out the entirety of the human experience. And this isn't something that I have to negotiate with myself, that I have to like intellectually persuade myself not to be attracted to this. I am viscerally, on a cellular level, repulsed by traditional masculinity.
You know, I think a lot of people don't really speak on it, but men are aware when they have to carry the whole entire load alone. When I have to, I have a wife here, but it's really a one-stop shop. I'm the only person here. It's a one-man show. And men really, honestly and truly, they get tired of that type of stuff, man. One-sided effort. It's always an imbalance.
Ladies, I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? And I hope that this helps, but some of y'all may not like it, okay? I need y'all to stop listening to the negative Nancys, bitter Bettys, the miserable Marys, you know, the women who get on here and talk about it's all men. I hate all men are bad. All men are not bad, baby. The men that they have access to are bad. Because check this out. Those men have very low barriers of entry. They don't require much. They know they ain't shit, so they don't expect for the women that they are dealing with to be. The truth of the matter is, a man that has done the work, a man who knows God, a man who has morals and standards and ethics, a man who has done the hard work to gain a certain level of income so he can have a certain lifestyle, a man that has done the work to heal from his past traumas, a man who has gained a level of access and accumulated certain levels of assets. That man is not going to give all that away for free. That man is not going to give that to a woman with a nasty attitude and an entitled mindset. That man that has done that work is not going to deal with a woman with low self-esteem and no confidence. He is looking for his equally yoked partner. If he's giving her money, he needs to make sure she's going to be a good steward of the money and multiply it and be fiscally responsible. If he is giving her a home, he wants to make sure she's going to be a good caregiver of that home. If he is covering her and protecting her, he needs to know that she's going to be all right with cooperating, because it's hard to protect something that's fighting against you. You get where I'm going? There are good men out there, but they're going to require you to be a good woman. And there are a lot of women out here that are not good women, and so they only have access to bad men. And that's why they say all men. Don't listen to them. There are some good men out there, but they are literally hiding from the crazies, just like we are, right? Right.
The men at singles night didn't approach me because they are fat phobic. Is basically what this chick gave as an excuse to her recent experience at a singles event in Chicago. Don't believe me? Check it out for yourself. Let's get it.
I went to singles night 2 days ago here in Chicago at a bar. Girls. Woo, maybe you can handle it, but I couldn't. And I'm not afraid to say that I couldn't handle it, okay? You go in there, they're like, he goes, you here for the event? And I'm like, event? And he's like, singles night. I'm like, oh my God, like it's a slur. Jesus Christ. He's like, here's a sticker. I'm like, okay, I took the sticker. It's my friend and I. We go in there together. She's, mind you, skinny blonde. Yeah, I know. It was hard. We get in there, we walk in. I'm like, okay. A lot of women. A lot of single women. Men aren't lonely enough. We're talking about singles night. All right, you're not swiping, so you're not going to go to singles night?
This woman here actually believes the news. She says men aren't lonely enough. That's why they're not at singles nights. So she's saying if men were really, really lonely, then they would be showing up. Now, she is right about being skeptical as to how lonely men are today. Are they lonely enough that they're showing up to singles events? No.
It's not adding up. It's not adding up. So we get a drink, we're walking around. I'm like, okay, this is cute. Scanning the room. A lot of men sitting with the boys, not talking to the women. I'm like, okay, so you want a boys' night? You can have a boys' night, but you do have a green sticker on, so I know you're here for the event, okay? People came up to us, and by us, I mean my skinny blonde friend. And this is the thing, is you just couldn't handle this, okay? And neither could I. I went home and I went to my friend's apartment and I did cry. Okay?
Now that's sad. She said she went home and cried after her experience at the singles event. This situation ended in tears. Kind of sad.
God. Is it a crime to shed a little tear? My God, whatever. I'm just not at the point in my life where I can go to things like that because, oh my God, it's humiliating. Men want to be princesses so bad, no one's talking to you, and it's outnumbered. There's so many women. I was like, oh my God, this is just not something that I am walking in the rain. And I'm being cinematic. Oh my God, where's my Romeo? No.
The one thing that stood out to me about this particular situation is the comment about men aren't lonely enough. These women want you to be lonely. The real question is, who's truly in a loneliness epidemic?
If your mama didn't tell you, baby, I will. The reason why that toxic narcissistic man has moved on from you so quickly at lightning speed, you still stuck and trying to pick up the pieces, and you still trying to put your head back on straight because you've been flung around in circles, and his and flown past you, and now his trips being planned and weddings and engagements and babies and houses, and you looking like, how in the is this man moving on so quickly? First of all, you meant absolutely nothing. Hear me when I say that. You didn't mean to him. But toxic men, narcissistic men like this, they have to have supply. The supply comes from your attention, your love, your tears, your yelling, your screaming, your arguing, your all the things. Everything that they get from you is what they use to survive. So when you walk the away from them, or they decide they want to leave you because they've used you so much and they ain't got else to get from you, now they're going to go and be with the woman who they know will give them what they need. Be it a roof over their head, food, whatever these men can get from you, they're going to get. However they need to manipulate the situation left, right, up, down, and sideways, they're going to do it. That new woman, she wasn't new, baby. You just didn't know. The reason why these men are moving on so quickly, they need to suck supply from somewhere. They are literal leeches. They are a parasite feeding off of you. And when they can't get from you, or when you snatch the rug from under their feet, now they got to go and find somewhere else to get the supply from. Now they have to go and find someone to feed that fragile ego. But one and the same, I know it is absolutely maddening for a man to walk away from you after he has drug you through the dirt and then turn around and be with somebody else like nothing ever happened, like you didn't even exist. I know. But you can't look at what it looks like. What it looks like, that ain't what it is. I'm telling you right here, period, point blank. And you know what this man is capable of. You already know. But I understand the mental torture that you have gone through. I understand that you have been flung around in circles. And now you're walking through this fog and you can't see straight. I get it. But eventually that fog will lift. And you will be able to see everything for what it is. But right now, when it looks like that man has moved on and like you meant absolutely nothing, understand you did not. You're right. Now it's time for you to mean something to you.
This woman is a wife material 100%. You can get married to her now if you see these 3 traits in this woman that you are dating. No joke. Stick around for number 3. Very special. Very. Listen, you don't want to miss. See, number 1, this woman, you don't want to miss out. You can carry her to meet your parents. A woman that always checks on you. Every time, if you're at work, if you go out, anywhere you are, she's texting you or calling you and checking to see if you are okay. It doesn't matter where are you. This woman will always check and say, babes, what's going on? You good? You eat? How are you feeling today? Whatever. She always check on you. This is a keeper. She doesn't even wait on you, the man, to check. She will initiate. Make sure that you are okay as the man. This is a keeper. Bring her to your parents. Bring her to your family. Bring her to the church. You can get married. This is a keeper. 100%. Number 2, this woman is definitely a wife material. She is never scared to spend her own money on you, the man. What do I mean by that? Listen, we as men are independent by the core. We are not looking for a woman to spend money or take care of us. But it is a fact that if a woman spend her money on you as the man, listen, that woman is definitely investing in you as the man. She love you like cooked food. She don't want no other woman to even come close. Her money is her own money. But once she's spending it on you, listen, this woman is investing in you in every way. She love you like cooked food. Women don't normally spend money on man that they don't like. Tell me, I tell you, ask any woman this. See, number 3, the most important one. Once your woman portray or show you this trait, she is a keeper. Get married to her. An independent woman that is dependent on the man to lead. More you listen good enough. An independent woman that is dependent on the man to lead. What do I mean by that? Listen, we as traditional man, we love a stay-at-home woman that is nurturing and just take care of the kids, take care of the house, make sure everything is good. But the time is evolved. Women are getting more independent, which is good. So when you have a woman that is independent, work her own money and everything, but she is dependent on you as the man, she will never disrespect you. She knows you are the masculine man that is the leader of the house. That is a woman to be cherished. Not because she's making her own money, that doesn't mean she don't need you to lead. She need you to be the man that you are. That is a keeper. That is a wife material. 100%. Let me know one thing. 3 type of woman or 3 traits in a woman that let you know she's a wife material. Trust me, don't let her go. A woman that always check on you. A woman that is not scared to spend her own money on you. And an independent woman that is dependent on you, the man, to lead. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Reason we are reason. At the season, good over evil. Big Voice Radio in the building. Let me know what you think in the comment section. It like, follow the movement. Big up on yourself.
What is your salary?
70,000.
And you also receive a disability from the NFL, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had been receiving that since last year, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much are you receiving per month?
135,000.
Sorry, 135,000. Is that per year?
Yes,
ma'am. But that is designed to be temporary. Is that correct?
It's temporary.
Okay. But you are still receiving it to date.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you understand that I've calculated your support based on both sources of income as being at the maximum of $2,340?
Yes.
But you disagree with child support being set to that amount, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you requesting that child support be set to?
I think is fair, because I think like $1,500. You know, I want to support my child. I want to be there and stuff. I just don't think the max is, you know, as much as I've done and I provided. I'm there. I'm a present father. I take care of my daughter, you know, and I want them to be compensated. I think fair is $1,500. You know, she's on my insurance.
When asked what he thought would be fair, Mr. Coleman said he believed $1,500 per month would be fair. He said he wanted to support his child and be there for her, but he did not believe the maximum was fair under the circumstances. He said he had done a lot for his daughter, had provided for her, had been a present father, and did not want to be treated like a bank. In his view, $1,500 was a fair number. His own lawyer then questioned him further about the disability. Mr. Coleman explained that the disability was temporary because if he worked and made more than $30,000, it would be taken away. He said he chose to take the risk and go into coaching because he did not want to sit at home and waste away. He described dealing with many physical issues from football, including surgeries, injuries, and constant treatments, and said he spent a lot of money on his health care and on legal fees. According to him, there really was not much money left over once those obligations were paid. He also testified that as far as childcare was concerned, he had always stepped up for his daughter. He said that since she was born, he had been present, had helped financially, had sometimes dipped into his savings, and had paid for things like daycare, birthdays, and whatever else the child needed. He explained that when the child was with him, his mother could help care for her, so he did not need a nanny on his own parenting time. Ms. McIsaac's attorney then cross-examined him. She emphasized that while he kept calling the disability temporary, it would continue for life if he simply chose not to work. She framed it as income meant to support his livelihood because of the injuries he sustained from football. She then walked him through the math, pointing out that as of now he was receiving $135,000 a year from the NFL disability and another $70,000 a year from TCU, which put him at more than $200,000 a year in actual income at the present time.
But you're also living in a $5 million house, is that true?
A $5 million house?
When you're living in a very nice home.
A $5 million house?
I'll look it up later, but that's what I understand.
And do you know that I owe taxes on my house and that I'm selling my house? That is,
any of us that own homes have to pay taxes on homes.
Yeah, I owe taxes. I'm selling this house. So, and it's not even nowhere near $5 million.
Okay, you own.
Not even close.
All right, you own various luxury cars. Is that correct?
I have one car.
What kind of car is that?
I have a 2017, 2018 Porsche Cayenne that, you know, is not that expensive. I have one car.
All right. You fly on private jet. Is that right?
I don't fly. I have a friend who's made a lot of money that took me on a private jet. I didn't pay for no private jet. I think that y'all got this ideology of something completely different because you're seeing all.
Okay, I'm going to object to his answer as non-responsive, Your Honor.
Objection sustained. Mr. Coleman, just answer the questions that she asked you. Yes or no, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, isn't it true? Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay.
Isn't it true that up until now you have been giving my client some cash every month, about $700 cash? Is that right?
Yeah, $700. It ranges. And then it ranges to all over like the place.
Okay. And then you've also covered daycare costs during the week. Is that also true?
The daycare, yes, since my daughter been born, yes, ma'am.
And that's $189 a week?
No, we just moved her. It was like $250. She was at a different daycare. She's been at a couple. Wednesday was paying $1,400. Then there was another one we were paying around $1,000. Then there was another one that was paying around $1,000. So we just moved her to the one. Well, he just moved her to the one near her in Forney, and I've also been paying that up to date till now. Also,
okay. And you don't believe that Ms. McIsaacs deliberately moved your daughter to Kaufman County in order to make it harder on you to see her for visitation purposes, do you?
I don't know. I think she did, because why would you?
Okay.
She emphasized that while he kept calling the disability temporary, it would continue for life if he simply chose not to work. She framed it as income meant to support his livelihood because of the injuries he sustained from football. She then walked him through the math, pointing out that as of now he was receiving $135,000 a year from the NFL disability and another $70,000 a year from TCU, which put him at more than $200,000 a year in actual income at the present time. She also questioned him about his lifestyle and assets, including his home, his car, and his ability to travel. She pointed out that he had historically been giving Ms. McIsaac around $700 in cash some months, and had also been paying daycare costs, which meant he was already paying amounts in the same range as the support being discussed. Her position was that the proposed support amount was not excessive in light of his income and the financial needs of the child. Mr. Coleman's counsel then gave a brief closing argument. He stressed that the NFL disability was never intended to serve as a supplement to additional earned income. In his view, it was meant to replace income only if Mr. Coleman could not work. Since Mr. Coleman was now working and had accepted that his disability would likely be lost, counsel argued that it was unfair to treat that money as if it were permanent ongoing income for future support purposes. He asked the court either to base support on the $70,000 salary alone or to use a compromise figure of about $500. Ms. McIsaac's attorney responded that nothing in the record showed that the disability payments had actually ended or were about to end immediately. At the present moment, Mr. Coleman was receiving the money, and the court was entitled to calculate child support from his current real income. She also argued that her client needed the support, and that if the court were willing, it should even consider an additional amount for weekend child care. Still, the state itself stuck with its request for the maximum guideline amount of $2,240. After hearing from everyone, the judge announced the ruling. The court accepted the agreed portions of the order and made them the order of the court. The judge then ordered child support in the amount of $2,240 per month, beginning October 1st, 2025. The judge asked if there were any questions. There were none that changed the ruling, and the hearing concluded with the parties being excused.
You know, modern women, and sometimes they have rosters and they do this with their rosters. You know, they get a good man on the hook, but then I see this man over here. I see this guy over here. And, oh, I want this man. And this type of back and forth, and well, maybe this, and maybe I'll do that. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't have the option. Y'all don't have the time that you think you do. Going back and forth instead of just messing around with the good man. You wasting your time, bro.